Okay. Miss Tonya, how are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm so good. Thank you so much for joining us on the show tonight.
I'm so excited. I really am.
So I have been following you on Instagram for several months now, and really love the videos and contents that you put out on Instagram and on your social media. And so you are probably the first person that I've reached out to that I don't know at all. Like everyone on the show,
Oh,
had on the show has been people that I know in some sort of way, and
right.
but you know how social media goes. You feel like you know people even though you're
Yes.
not. You
Yes.
don't really know them. So anyway, thank
Yes.
you so much for answering the call and agreeing to be on the show.
Oh, I'm just honored. I'm definitely honored. And to me, it's just a blessing, to be able to have a platform to meet so many wonderful women, wonderful providers.
So
Just
awesome.
wonderful.
So tell us a little bit about you and your business and the Daycare Chronicles 101.
I started family daycare when I was 23 years old. I
Wow.
was having my second child and I wanted to stay home. And so I didn't want my child in daycare. And I just took a leap of faith. And my grandmother was like my biggest supporter. Go ahead and do it. I was working at the bank. My mother was like, no, don't leave the bank. And I'm like, no, I wanted to stay home. Best decision I ever made. It was the easiest thing I ever did. Um, and then after that, it just grew and grew and grew. And here I am. I'm still doing it.
How many years have you been doing it?
My I'm sorry, say it again.
How long have you been doing it?
29 years.
Wow, that's
My daughter is 31. My son is 29, and I started when my son was born.
incredible.
And now I keep my grandsons. My daughter has two boys, so now I'm able to keep them.
That's amazing. And
Yeah.
where's your business? Where are you operating out of?
I'm in Hawthorne, California,
Okay. Very.
family daycare out of my home.
Mm-hmm.
Still doing. I have this big, humongous backyard. In California, when you're living in the city, you don't always have like a big yard, but we have this humongous backyard. I'm from Ohio, so
Okay.
I love the trees, the fruit trees, and my home is so inviting for the children.
Yeah.
They come in and they're able to go outside. I have an indoor outdoor classroom. We're outside all day unless it's pouring down raining. I'm from back east, so it was nothing to put a coat on. So yeah, it's taken on a life of its own. And Daycare Chronicles, I was standing in the backyard and I said, okay, I've been doing this a long time. I'm ready to transition to something else. And I'm standing there and the thought came to me. And I said, only God could have given me the thought, Daycare Chronicles 101. And that's where it was.
Okay. And so how long have you been doing that?
Just since I believe it's been January, February
Of
of
this
this
year.
year, of this year.
Incredible. That's so cool. I love that. And tell us a little bit about what the Daycare Chronicles 101 is.
Daycare Chronicles is just a platform that I am able to share stories to seasoned providers, new providers, women who may want to open up a daycare, and just funny things that happen in daycare and just some of the issues that providers have. But I just try to do it in a kind of light way.
Yep.
I've had so many women that are providers reach out to me and say, "You taught me to stand up for myself, to enforce my rules." And then so many providers like, "Oh my goodness, we have the same story. No matter where you're at, where you live, we all have the same stories
Mm-hmm.
because we all do the same thing. Children are the same.
First thing I said to you when I called you the other day was that I learned so much from watching those videos and wish that I had seen them sooner because so many of those same scenarios have popped up for me and
Hmm.
I have only been doing it for a year and a half. And so I
Oh
don't
yeah.
I don't respond the way I should. I don't feel confident enough most of the time to
Yeah.
respond in sort of from a place of strength. And so it's just really,
Aw.
I can't promise that I will next time something like this pops up. But I would like to think that now that you've at least heard that it's not just you, right? And that these
Right.
scenarios are sort of um, almost generic, right? They have
Right.
everywhere, that you can be a little bit stronger in your or a lot
Right.
stronger in your responses to them. So definitely thank you so much for doing that.
Oh, yes, ma'am. You're so welcome. You're so welcome.
So we talked a little bit already about how you got into childcare as a new
Mm-hmm.
mom or mom of young kids.
Right.
Do you have an early childhood background?
I actually do not.
Okay.
I started daycare at 23, and this has just been what it is.
Okay.
The thing about it is that I just had to realize that I just have a gift.
Mm.
And I don't know what you're experiencing, but in California, family daycare, we are experiencing a lot of children that are on the spectrum.
Okay.
They are coming through family daycare. So we're the ones that are initially seeing the first signs of it.
Mm.
So that's a whole nother element that has come into family child care. So being that we're the ones that are the first to see these signs and these symptoms, then we're the ones that usually speak to the parents. Of course, typically when they go to regional center, they're like, well, we don't diagnose till they're 3.
Right.
But I'm seeing signs at 1, 2.
Mm.
Um, I had a podcast with one of my daughter's friends that she graduated high school with. She works for the regional center.
Mm-hmm.
And I did a podcast with her. And she was telling me that there are times when you see something, but you don't know what it really is. And you don't want to say anything to a parent if you don't know. And she says, well, that's when a child may be dual diagnosed or triple diagnosed. I'm thinking, I didn't even know that was even possible.
Mm-hmm.
So, that was a learning experience for me. Now it made me understand, okay, it could have been this and this.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't say anything to that parent because I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
When there have been other parents that I have said things to, they have taken them to get tested at the regional center, and they're able to get, early intervention help.
Oh, that's great.
That's one of the most difficult things. Is just because the child is on a spectrum does not mean that they are not smart, they are not intelligent, that they cannot learn, that they will not be successful in life.
Mm-hmm.
You give them what they need. So I'm seeing that now, but I just have this nurturing gift.
Okay.
And
Okay.
that comes from my grandmother.
It's incredible when you finally find something that you really like and that you're good at, and you can recognize that you just are good at this thing, and there are things you can do to support that, right? You can take some classes, or you can get
Yes.
some training, but
Yes.
innately you have this gift, and I think that it's so incredible, whether it's daycare or something else, where
Right.
people finally get to this point where they recognize what their gift is. Because I think a lot of people don't see it early enough, or can't recognize it when they do see it, because maybe they undervalue it. Um,
Yeah.
like, I think that there's a lot of ways that people undervalue the thing that they're actually really good at and that they like, because the world tells them that it's not cool.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
To me, I guess my husband is a teacher. He's a high school teacher. So, I would tell him, well, I don't have a college degree. And he's like, Tonya, you do this all day, every day. You are amazing. The impact that you have on the children. He was like, this is your gift. And it took me 20 years in the game to realize this is it.
Right.
I'm like, is this my purpose? Because I feel like there's so much more. I
Mhm.
think that's why Daycare Chronicles was born too, because I'm able to help and educate and teach so many more
Right.
people with this platform.
Mm-hmm. That's
You
incredible.
know,
So then let's shift gears a little bit from the specificness of childcare providing, to just being an entrepreneur. What's the most important thing to you in your business? How did you get started as an entrepreneur, and what keeps you up at night?
I will say that this was the easiest thing I've ever done. I just fell into this. I don't even know. Like, I just had an idea and I'm like, okay, let me try this. I went around to other daycares and preschools, and you pretend that you want to enroll your child, and you're just trying to see what information they will give you, because no one will share anything with you. So I'm getting brochures from all these places. And I met a lady that worked at our regional at Crystal Stairs, which is our research and referral. And she pretty much guided me and kind of took me under her wings. And we're still friends today. She did one of the podcasts with me.
Mm-hmm.
And I kept her grandchildren. I mean, it was just, daycare was just something I guess I was just destined to do. You know, I was 23. I mean, I had no idea that it would be this long and it would be this gratifying.
Okay.
You know, as far as being an entrepreneur, I guess I didn't even really realize, like, I just wanted to stay home and take care of my own children.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then it just kept growing and growing and growing. And, you know, I'm still here.
Yeah. What I hear you say a lot on the Daycare Chronicles is it's a business. This is a business. You always say, you got to remember, this is a business.
Yes.
I hear you say that all the time. When you're saying that to people, what are you trying to impress on them?
That you have, in order to get the respect from the clients that you have, you're not a babysitter. You're not a nanny.
Mm-hmm.
This is how you pay your bills, make your income. And if you allow the clients to just run over you, just do anything they want to do, you're going to be stressed out,
Mm-hmm.
which means that's going to affect everything. You know, if you get stressed out, it's going to affect your health. It's going to affect your attitude. You know, it's going to affect the children, your husband, you know, everything. So you have to be professional at all times. Daycare providers have fought so hard just to be respected. And I say that a lot too.
Mm-hmm.
We need to be respected. Like, if you want to be respected, then you need to present that to them. And parents will try you with every little thing. Every little thing. Mm-hmm. They will try you. And I have been tried. I have been thoroughly tried. And I've always been a strong woman. I was raised by a strong woman, but I'm the oldest daughter. I'm the oldest granddaughter on both sides of the family. So I'm the oldest, you know? So I've always had that mother thing in me. But with clients, you have to stand firm and stand your ground, because they will run over you. I have providers DMing me. I just can't. I said, well, show them the video. Show them, let me tell them for you, you know. Like, you have to stand up for yourself. I had a provider tell me, my client keeps coming late. I said, well, give her a late fee. Well, I do. I said, well, raise the late fee. My late fee is $10 a minute. I don't want your money. Don't be late. I have things to do. I have to call somebody tonight. I knew we had to do this. And the client, it was 6 o'clock. I'm like, oh no. So I called the mom and she's like, oh, the dad's picking him up. I said, well, I need you to text him because I'm ready to walk out the door. She didn't know I was going to be sitting here with you, but I'm just saying. But it still happens to me. And, you know, I was like, my late fee is $10 a minute. She heard, he got to that door in 2.2 seconds. I'm not playing with y'all. I'm not playing with y'all. Get here and get your child. Right. And they were here 10 hours too. If you don't get here and get these children.
That's incredible. Okay, so what keeps you up at night?
What keeps me up at night is trying to make sure that I give each child what they need. Because in family daycare, you have a multiple of age groups. It's not like working at a center. So I have from age 1 to age 4. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, we can have the same concept, but I'm going to have different activities for each age group. Right. But it can be the same concept. And then 2, if you have a parent that maybe you had a misunderstanding with, or they just got upset, sometimes you just get upset. And then you want to leave everyone on a good note. You know, you never want to have someone having a bad or ill feeling, even though you may not be able to meet their need. Still, you want to be able for the parent. It's like customer service. You always want the parent to kind of feel like they're right. You know what I'm saying? So that at least if the child is taken away, it's like they did it. It was because they wanted to, not because you put them out. You know? Yeah. It's just trying to make sure that the children get what they need. Okay. You know?
Okay. And then related to that, what does success look like for you?
Success looks like for me Me transitioning to where God is taking me now, being able to help as many providers as I can, and there are millions of providers out there, being able to be that support system, to be that consultant, to be able just to be there when a provider just needs to vent, and I can be like, you know what, baby, I've been there too. You're not the only one, you know?
That's
So
all we need to hear sometimes.
yeah, yes, because, and I told a provider this today. I said, the client that you do the most for, the client that you go above and beyond the duty for, that'll be the client that breaks your heart. It'll be that client. I bought shoes for children, and mother have gotten mad because I bought shoes. Well, the shoes were too little. And you don't try to belittle the parent. It's like, I know you need a little bit of help. It's okay. It's a gift from the daycare, not from me, from the daycare.
Yep.
You know? But success is just being able to make money while I sleep. Make money while I sleep, and just be the best me that I can be. You know?
Well, it looks like you're doing it. Now, something I've been thinking about lately are mantras. And so I'm interested to know if you have a mantra. Is there something that some sort of like guiding concept or guiding phrase that besides it's a business?
Well, you know what? I'll say this. When I wake up every morning, I don't pre-plan my chronicles. I don't know what I'm going to say. I don't even think about it the night before. It's what God gives me in the morning.
Okay.
So, I'm big on do unto others as you want them to do unto you. I'm big on kindness and love. But when I tell you that I have that one-on-one relationship with God, I do. And he guides my footsteps. So he gives me that thought. I'm not smart enough to come up with a thought. He gives me that thought in the morning. Okay, so this is what you're going to talk about. I don't even have them written down anywhere.
Wow. I love it. When I see them, it's like the Childcare Chronicles. That's what I needed from Miss Tonya today.
Oh my goodness. And I have so many stories in my head. So many. And I have so many good memories of daycare and things that have happened. But then you run across those things that just kind of irk you. Like today, I said, when that one child just doesn't come, the child you love to death, but when that child isn't there, it's like, whoo, I got a break today. We all have those children in our facilities. Providers don't want to say it, but they're like, oh yeah, I feel you, Miss Tonya. They were just Yes.
Okay, and so if we're thinking about tips for people who are starting a business, any business, what would be your best tip for someone who's getting started opening their own business?
I would say to make sure that it's definitely something that you have a passion for.
Okay.
Something that, of course, is going to be lucrative, but something that you have a passion for and something that you're good at. And you should always have fear, that healthy fear. You can't be too arrogant, too cocky about anything. I'm always like, is this okay? Is that okay? You know what I'm saying? You always have that unknown there. So you have that healthy fear, which is good. But just know that it's going to take hard work, dedication, and sometimes you're going to have to, one thing, you have to spend money to make money. That is one of the things that I try to stress to providers. You have to invest back into your business. You have to make sure that you have what's needed. So sometimes it may not be lucrative right away, but when God sees you working and he see, he's not just going to give you a handout. And if you get a handout, you better be like, whoa, why? Why is this just coming to me so easy? Because that's not how he operates. You got to put in some work. And so do what is in your heart and do what you feel that you're capable of doing. But I still say have that little bit of fear in there. That fear is good. That fear is your pushing factor. Like when I started the podcast, I didn't know what I was doing. Someone told me what to do. I do it on my iPhone. I'm not even here yet. And it sounds good. And there it is there. So, and then always have a mentor.
Okay.
Mentors are important.
Mm.
And I found one through Instagram.
Whoa.
Whenever you're the smartest person in your circle, then it's time for you to leave that circle and find some more people, so that you can become greater.
Okay.
Because then everyone's just looking at you,
Yeah.
So I'm like, I have Daycare Chronicles, but I'm like, I'm trying to take this to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's just something to think about too.
Oh, I love that. The mentors are so important, and there's so much. Um, it's I think sometimes it feels hard to find a mentor. Like you're searching, and then you have to
Mhm.
balance that with like feeling like you're stuck, like you can't do anything unless
Yeah,
someone else gives you the go ahead. You know,
right.
you get stuck in like there's a healthy fear and then there's a paralyzing fear that you can get stuck in. And
Mhm.
you need to find
Yeah,
the right person. I
yeah.
talked to a friend several episodes back, and she said when looking for a mentor, you need to make sure that you have someone who really knows about the thing you need mentoring in, because
Mhm.
someone who's a good life mentor might not be a good business mentor,
Right,
or
right,
so make sure
right.
you're picky and choosy, and that it's okay to have different mentors for different avenues
That's right.
of life. So the
Great
mentor
advice.
is really huge, is really huge.
That's great advice. Yeah, absolutely. That is great advice. I like that.
Yeah, she's really good. That's my friend Janae Marks. So the last question I have, because this as an adult, I find that this is probably my most difficult adulting thing is what is for dinner? What are you making for dinner tonight?
I made black beans and rice with
Mm.
grilled asparagus.
Oh, that's it? No meat?
We're pretty much vegetarian. So
Oh,
the beans are our meat. And that's how the daycare is
oh,
too.
mind blown. Okay. That's I could eat beans and rice like all day. My family is from the Caribbean and Central America.
Mhm.
I could eat beans and rice, all rice and beans all the time.
Mhm.
But it always feels like the meal is not complete without meat. But
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
sounds delicious.
Yeah.
I'm just trying. I am building a recipe vault. So whenever I have some slow days and I don't know what to do, I can have these cool ideas.
Oh, well, let
From,
me tell you. My husband got my book
ooh,
autographed for me,
what is?
Layla Ali's cookbook.
Oh,
Go on Amazon and order Layla's cookbook. It is beyond amazing.
wow! And how did you get
Beyond.
it photographed?
Well, my husband knows her, so
Fancy, fancy.
yes, yes, yes. My husband, and so he was able to get it autographed for me. I was so excited. He came home with it. I was like, "Yay!"
I love it.
Yeah,
So that's where you
yeah.
get new recipes.
Well, you know what I use a lot? All recipes.
Oh,
I use allrecipes.com.
okay.
More than not, I do. I got her cookbook the other day. I'm definitely going to delve into that because I love to cook. I love to bake. I love to bake. And so, daycare takes up a lot of time. So I try to do a lot of prep at night.
Mm-hmm.
And then that way, because it'll take so much time away from the children. But yeah, luckily it's just me and my husband. So I know how I can feed us. We don't have to worry about little ones running around feeding them at night.
Oh, oh God. I'm trying to figure out what to do with my own kids, and they don't pay me no mind. You should see our table right now. We put out some food. My husband put out a whole plate of food, and my son ate what are those things called? Hawaiian buns. All he wanted was 4 Hawaiian buns, and that's all.
How old is he?
5. And
Yeah.
I've just decided that I'm not going to harass him. Like he will
Yeah.
eat when he's hungry, and I'm not going to stress out myself one bit.
That's right. And you will.
Or
You
else
will.
before we'd be following him around with a piece of chicken, like trying to push it in his mouth. I was like,
Well,
girl.
does he want to be vegetarian? Look.
Well, here's the thing is that I don't know if we've been overfeeding them meat, but lately he's been opting not to eat it. So I'm not going to put any words on it. I just put
Right,
him
I got you.
out the food, and whatever he eats, he eats.
Right.
But my other child won't eat any start. He only eats rice, but he won't eat any other carbs. He just eats the meat. So my other son ate chicken and grapes for dinner tonight. I mean, what am I gonna do? They're sleeping now. If they were hungry, they'd be awake. So they're
Well, that's true. That's true. That's true. Absolutely. Goodness. Yeah. What I say, we pick our battles.
Yes, pick
We
your
pick our
battle.
battles. Oh,
Pick your battle.
absolutely. Yeah. Even with the daycare children, we pick our battles, you know?
I know.
Absolutely.
I
It's
know.
been a pleasure.
I know. Thank you so much for taking time tonight to talk to me. I am so grateful. I have learned so much from you in this short amount of time and also from the Daycare Chronicles.
Oh,
So, can you tell
yes.
people where they can find you?
You can find me on Instagram, Facebook at Daycare Chronicles One-on-One. I'm also on Twitter. I have a podcast on Apple iTunes, Luminary, Spotify, Libsyn.
Huh?
So those are and also Little Critters 24-hour daycare in the city of Hawthorne. You can find me on Yelp.
I love it. I love it. Well, again, Miss Tonya, thank you so much. And
You're
I
so
hope
welcome.
when something exciting is going on, something new and exciting is going on, I hope you'll come back and share it with us here.
I will do that. I'm working on my book now, so I am.
Woo!
Thank you.
I can't believe it. That's amazing. I can't wait. So when the book is ready, come back and we'll talk about it.
I sure will. Thank you so much,
Thank
Candace.
you so much, Miss Tonya. Bye.
Bye bye.